Hello, all you beautiful people. Good morning, Asia. How are you? It is 9:30 a.m. in the Philippines, 9:30 p.m. Toronto, Canada. So nice to see you. We have our first guest. Hey, Mama Donna TV, mega love shout out. Checking out your channel, 13.3K. Mama Donna TV, mega love shout out. Oh, let me mute that. There you go. Thank you very much for coming. Mama Donna, let me give you a jacket. So you, Xavier, gotta give Mama a jacket. Paulette, mega love shout out. Nice to see you. You guys have any upcoming premieres, live streams, grand live streams? Please share. If not, drop a Ilocana in Singapore. Mega love shout out. Mega love shout out. Thank you so much. So nice to see you all. M&J, always nice to see you. Walang anuman, Mama Donna TV. Guys, Mama Donna TV is new here. So we have to watch upcoming. She has a DIY Christmas fair place in my home. 9/16, 9/12. 9/12 is the next upcoming. So let's give a time stack to that. Yeah, premieres in 69 minutes. 69 minutes at 10:43. Cool. So here's a premiere, guys. How long's your premiere, Pope? Okay, let me just uh, let's just let's give it a little. Um, let's give you. Uh, okay, leaving a comment. Okay, done. So now let's share it on mine. So it's premiere just before mine. So copy. Let's get you here. Ah, salamat. Thank you, Paulette. Donna. Donna. Premiere. There's Donna Premiere right there, guys. Paulette, M&J, thank you so much. Paulette has a short. Ooh, meet Miles, my pet. I understand turtles live like a long time. So how old is your turtle? Just leave a comment. Uh, so there we go. Watch your full show, Paulette. Get out Fortnite. Mega love shout out. There's your moderation. Ghetto, nice to see you. Nice to see you. You now have a blue jacket, a wrench. Feel free to drop a link. Shout out my new friend Ghetto Fortnite. There he is, right there. He also has a live right now. So let me just give you a uh, just let a comment in your live. First, Windows 10 countdown to end of support. Price September 12th. Hey, I got it. No. Hey, Snow Baby. So get out Fortnite. So let's copy. Let's do Sport Ghetto as well. Hi, Reed. Megalith, shout out. Ghetto live here, guys. Live now. Give a Tamsack. Irene, I was watching your premiere. I missed it. I was up with my son's soccer. Okay. Snow Baby. Snow Baby Bear. Jonalyn. Jonalyn, you changed your name. Or no. Megalith, shout out. Why do you call yourself Snow Baby? Irene, guys. I always called her. She always has a nice smile. So I always call. Irene seems to smile. Today she had a video running around the track. So I don't know if you have your next premiere. Hey, food lover vlog. There is Share, Colorful Feathers, Mega Love shout out. Share, drop your latest link. Food lover, Mega Love shout out. Go to channel. You're new to me. 3.52K. Nice channel. Let me give you a jacket. And then I'm gonna watch one of your videos here. Add a moderator. Now I'm gonna go back to your. Oops. Back. Oops. There's my brother Vinko. To lover. Let's go in there. Go to channel. Videos. Any upcoming? No upcoming. So let's pick a short. We're doing some great shorts. 321, 1.K, 471, 299. Let's do 299. Okay, food lover. Food lover. Sharing what your shorts here. Commenting. Everybody likes food. Okay, copy. Okay. Food lover short, guys. So watch the full short. And food lover dropped. Thank you, Paul. Got it. And my live stream last Thursday. There's share. Okay. There's my. Thank you, Irene. I've got. I don't know if you can hear. I got MB in the background. I got MB in the background. Okay. Okay. Share. Done. Share. Thank you for 27 likes so far, guys. Okay. Irene, do you have a video you want to promote? So we got that going on. And I'll drop. Let me know if you guys want to come up and I'll drop the ladder. Drop any link you like, guys. Ideal is an upcoming premiere, live stream, grand live stream, short video, and I will tamp sack it, hear it out. So many. Okay. Uh, there we go. Thank you, Ghetto. Janet. There we go. Thank you, Janet. Always there supporting everybody. Thank you, Paul. Team Minerva. Mike G. Happy Friday. Mike G from Edmonton. When are you going back to the Philippines? I'm guessing January. Mike G is an old friend. You're welcome. Thank you, bro. Don't forget to smash that like button. Thank you, Michelle. Uh, thank you, Paul. Here, and if you guys, I must be lost. That's funny. I don't know Minerva's life. Miley Bird, thank you so much for your support. I saw your comment on one of my last videos. Miley Bird, mega love shout out. Good morning, thank you. Bien. Let me know who's live so we can go raid. Yang, thank you so much. Yes, in January. Excellent. Are you going to Manila? Are you going to Manila? Thank you, Janet. Aja or Aja or Aja. 1.04. Nice. Yes, Yang. Must be another one of your channels. Well done. There we go. Okay, Sigi Sigi. Good, good, good. Excellent. Green Lover. Thank you always for your support. And my premieres, live streams. I've been there for so long. Mega love shout out. Remember, drop your links. You all have jackets. Drop a link. Ace Flaw. Nice. Ace Flaw done. North Carolina. NC. Hi, Kurt. Nice to see you. Hi, Joe. Let's check out Joe's channel here. Joe Catenza. Mega love shout out. Let me give you a jacket, Joe. Let me know if you have any live stream. Add moderator. Joe, you have a moderator. Good morning. Hi, Kurt. Nice to see you. Hi, Kurt. Nice to see you as always. Watching. Think. Hey, Joe. You should have a. You should have. Yeah, yeah. Joe, I have you as a moderator. Do you type something in, Joe? You should be blue. You should be blue, Joe. Joe. You should be blue. Yep. Good. Mabuti. Hey, missed it. Let's see. I got a Panay channel here going. Mestez Ang Panay 01. Nice channel. 2K subscriber. Well done, Poe. Upcoming. Here we have upcoming premiere, and so let's turn all that on. Tamsack 16. Yeah, Tamsack. Waiting. Leaving a comment. Okay. Okay, here is Panay's premiere. We got Panay's premiere, guys. Hi, Mimi Bear. Panay premiere, guys, in 8 days. Number 33. Thank you very much. We're getting up there. Hi, Mimi Bear. Okay. Mimi Bear, old friend. I like it when we get a group of people helping each other out. Thank you for the likes, guys. If you haven't done so, smash that like button. Drop a link so we can connect to you and support each other as we all grow. So that's what it's all about. There's Irene. Drop a link, Irene. Let's see if she has any upcoming videos. Let's see, upcoming videos. Yes, she does. In 47 hours. Okay. First like, notification on, comment, Samsack waiting, first comment, and live chat. Uh, Okay. Okay, share. Irene Premier copied. Ah, da, da, da. Feel free, guys, to drop a link. Here's Irene Premier. Irene Premier. Done. Donna, Mama Donna, done. Amy, thank you so much. You're welcome. Walang inaman, Panay. Amy, mega love shout out. Amy from Team Ohio. Love Team Ohio. Big team. Team Ohio is amazing. Let me know when Team Ohio has an upcoming live stream so I can come in and support. Okay, let's support some people who are live. Like MB is live. I'll drop that link. This is where you want to grow, guys. MB is live. Share copied. And you do Darren Raid if you're there. Be live. M and J, so nice to see you. Oh, oh, there's M and J. M and J. So MB is live now. So you go over and say hi. Leave that ham sack there. Ellen, Megalove shout out. Nice to thank you for the like. If you have anything upcoming, Ellen, feel free to drop a link. Nice. 9.1K. Hello, po. Let's see if Ellen has any upcoming videos. Nothing that I can see upcoming there. Upcoming lives. It's just an upcoming live. You chat with friends. 13 hours, 11 a.m. Okay. Temsac, live chat. Okay. So here is Ellen. I got to screenshot that. Upcoming upcoming live tomorrow. I'll be away. So Ellen live. Lemar live. There you go, Ellen. Kumar, got it. Got your link. Thank you, Bo. Afghan butter chicken. That looks good. Okay. Walmart Cookery Show. That looks really good. Remy! You're welcome, Ellen. Wilfredo! There you go. Thank you, Wilfredo. How are you, Tammy? Nice to see you. Don't forget to smash that like button. Okay. Thank you, Quamar. I got Tammy there. Winnie! That's nice. Winnie, I support her as well. Sponsor her channel. She's always there promoting. Yeah, anyway, I'm glad it. Officially my birthday now in the UK. Yes, it's past 12. She's the ripe old age of 35. Happy birthday, Tammy Trot. I am good, sis. I am good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go Angafe here. Angafe is live. You can support as well. Share, copied. Hi, AH377. Let me just check your channel 1 second. Hey, live now, guys. These are people who can connect and grow your channel. AH377. Nice. 11 subscribers. Videos. Sige. Are you from the Philippines, Bo? Oh, no, I am. It looks like Chris. I'm live. There we are. That's cool. Is it Chris? I think it's Chris. Let me give you a jacket. Why'd you change his name? Let me give you a jacket there, brother. Is it Chris? I think it's Chris. Yeah, Ellen is going live in 13 hours. We'll see if I can pop in. I'll show it right here. Go to channel, live, upcoming, live in 13 hours. Right there. Let's share it out on my post. Great post. Join and meet new friends. Hey, Paul, I posted in my YouTube community tabs. That's done. Okay, Cooper! Best yummy food. Support one another, guys. Feel free to drop links. That's what we're there to do. So we can connect. Here, I'll drop off the ladder. In case anybody wants to come up. It's just for chatting. Cool. Hi, girly. Thank you, girly, for your support. Thank you, Bo. Hello, Mick Mar. Mick Mar 02. Mick Mar Ragos. Hello, Po. Salamat. Don't forget to smash that like button. Team Minerva. Is Minerva live? Hi, Jojo. Jojo. Oh, whoops, sorry. Jojo, I gotta put that back. And moderator. Jojo. Thank you, Jojo. Okay, let's see if Minerva's live. You guys know if Minerva's live. Let's check. Minerva, where is she? There she is. She is live. Okay. There she is. Uh, Irene, Mike, make a love shout out. I wonder where my upcoming premiere. Let's see. I'll do that. Thank you. Share. Make a love shout out. Let's 10 seconds. So let's go back. My own channel. Sailor Moon. Make a love shout out. Copy. That's done. Okay. Back to my live. Okay. We're just there. Hazel. Okay. Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you, Paul. Hey, Josh. Malachi. There we go. We got to give a jacket to a new friend. Malachi, did you know my biggest viewers are from India? Namaste. Let me give you a jacket, Paul. Nice to see you, Josh. Blue jacket, Paul. Thank you, Tammy. Josh. There's my friend Josh. Nice to see Josh. Blue jacket is done, Paul. Namaste. Michelle Lifestyle. Let's go to Michelle Lifestyle. Yeah, we got to give her a jacket. Doesn't have a jacket. Jacket. Add mod. Michelle, you have a jacket? Yes. Akisha. There we go. You're welcome. My pleasure. Michelle has a jacket. Sailor Moon has a jacket. Everybody has a jacket. Don't forget to like the live stream. Thank you, Minerva. Minerva, guys, always support Minerva. She's live as well. You can go. She's fantastic. I am good, thank you. Minerva is live, so support Minerva live. Let's see. Share, copy. Excuse me. Arch. Excuse me. Abby, make a love shout out. Hi, Hannah. Hi, Ann. Hi, Michelle. You have a jacket. Hi, Lisa. Minerva live. Here's connect back to Minerva, guys. Yeah, that's so true. And yeah, make a love shout out. Go to your channel. I'm now subscribed. And yeah, keep going. Keep doing those shorts. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Amy. Mommy, yours truly. Wrong copy. That's funny. Hi, Mommy, yours truly. Just drop a link. Your upcoming whatever it is. Lisa 1.23. Thank you, Marjorie. Marjorie Campano, guys. Amazing. Always there to support. Let's see. Hi, Bill. Nice to see you. Let's see if upcoming premieres. No, upcoming lives. Nothing there. Okay. Hi, Bill. Thank you so much. There we go. Bill. Hi, Tin from Minerva. Thank you, Tin. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul. So kind. If you haven't done so yet, smash that like button. 53 likes. Awesome. 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 Thank you, everybody. You guys are awesome. If you have a link to drop, please do. I only got my premiere coming up at 45. I wonder if I set a premiere for tomorrow. Hi, Kyle. Nice to see you. There's my good friend Kyle. He's growing, growing, growing. Thank you, Kyle, for dropping your link. Good evening to you. A million people in the house. Thank you so much. New video. Okay, got it. Got it. Oh, yeah, got it. Monday Night Pizza. That's a good idea. When you do the pizza, also do shorts as well. That looks really good. Oh, yeah. That's 97 views, 2 days. That's good. Oh, that's Kyle. That looks really good. Well done. Let's see what else we got here. You guys support Kyle's new video. Thank you so much. Connect to a new friend. Uh, well done, Kyle. You don't realize there's so many YouTube videos of what you cook and your garden I've seen, Sean and stuff like that. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you. Minerva's so nice. She's so kind. So, so kind. Thank you, 8 million people in the house. Let's see an upcoming premiere after that premiere. Pretty sure I do, but I'm not sure. Videos. Yes, I do. Here's the next one tomorrow in 24 hours. Copy. Yesterday. How are you? Here's the next upcoming premiere tomorrow. And yeah, yesterday Ortega, make a little shout out. Thank you, sis. Yes. We got a new friend, Enya JC 4.26. Video life tips, NFL's relax games. Salamat. Thank you, Bo. Nice channel. Nice channel. 53rd. I like it. Do you have any upcoming, Enya? Any upcoming premieres? Let's see. premieres, nothing upcoming. Lives. You do long live streams. Some of them are 4 hours, 30 minutes, 5 hours. Are they silent lives? Ah, she got a new short out. Let's do a new short. And Tamsack. Hey, coffee. Hey, 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 and yeah, short. There's one of your palms. There you go. And there's Tammy. Do you want to drop? Hey, there he is. The one, the only,
Hello.
Sleepy Sean.
No, I wasn't asleep. I was talking to Panas Habit.
Ah, how's Panas doing?
She's busy. I can hear all the motors going around there. All
Oh,
the,
yeah,
the trikes and
getting him.
everything.
He's right on the street or stores around the street. I miss
hmm
Panas.
Oh, by the way, I have what you would call the Zapruder film of the that latest assassination. I have the shot,
So do
and
I. I saw it too.
I've been investigating this on myself. Okay, Darren, I had him wrong. He wasn't on that that rooftop to his left. He was actually right in front of him and further away. This was this was
Ah,
this shot that he took was 400 feet away. Okay, and that's world class precision. You can't be no geek off the street to make a shot like that.
thank you, Amy.
That's why I'm saying this was a professional assassin or a former military sniper to enable to pull this off. A shot like that, and it was only one, but the first shot will always be the best.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the kid admitted to it then. Was he the one, do you think, that did it or not? Yes.
Well, okay. As much as he wants to admit to it, you still have to investigate and prove that it was him, which would be easy. I hope that they did a paraffin test of his face and hands. What
Correct.
that does is they rub
There's
paraffin
nothing.
on your
Yeah,
face and hands, and it leaves
yeah,
a residue when you fire a firearm, and you can't
correct.
wash it off with soap and water.
Ah,
It just either wears off or you use hot candle wax to get rid of it. That's how you get it off your hands and your face.
okay.
Because that's an assassin's trick that uses a rifle to kill somebody. Is they put hot wax on their hands, let it cool down, and then wash it off. That's the only way to get rid of the residue that gets on your face and your hands when you fire a firearm. Also, the palm print that they found, I want to see if that matches, and the shoe print, if that matches. That all has to match, because if it doesn't, I don't care how much he admits to it, he's not the gunman. Like that
Yeah,
old fart, the old fart at the beginning was yelling at everybody that he did it, and the police took him away.
yeah.
He didn't do it. Yeah, that was a distraction.
Ah,
And the other distraction was that kid with the pellet gun.
ah.
But they got the
Thank
footage of
you.
the kid come on. They got the footage of him coming off that roof and dropping down.
Mm,
You still can't tell 100% if that's the guy.
yeah,
No,
we'll
that's
see
the
how.
same guy that they've been hunting down.
Yeah, they still got to prove it's true.
But the kid that they got that had admitted to it, well, he admitted to his parents, and then his dad is part of law enforcement, retired, and turned him in.
Hey, sure.
Okay, and he
There's
comes from
coffee.
a wealthy family, and they're Mormon, and they're heavily Republican supported. So this wasn't a left wing,
Yeah, Tammy.
assassination. Like our government wants it to happen so that he has everybody at each other's throats. That's why we're in such a mess.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is an antagonistic to get everybody at each other's throats. He doesn't care
Yeah.
because he met Charlie Kirk, okay, and he was
Oh
friends
yeah,
with
of
him.
course.
And when they
Hell yeah.
interviewed Donald Trump about it, they asked him, "How are you feeling?" And usually people who just lost a friend like that would still be grieving. Instead of him talking about it, they asked him, "How are you feeling about it?" And he wants to talk about the ballroom that they're rebuilding in the White House.
I know something's
That
wrong.
that right there should tell everybody about this man.
Something's wrong.
But my question is this, and I've been writing it down, doing timetables and everything. Aside from Trump, the first people to report this was the Jerusalem newspaper.
Oh,
It came out at 11:58 on the internet, their time, 11:58 their time.
okay.
Now I want to know, how is it that the announcement that he was dead was at the same time Donald Trump released that tweet before the news even knew about it?
No idea.
Because it was an hour and a half that passed from the point that the shot was taken. There was like an hour and a half before the news reported it. Okay?
Yeah, because they pronounced him past. You got to be careful on the verbiage
At
during YouTube.
2:40 Mountain Time. At 2:40
At
Mountain Time,
the hospital.
and
Yeah,
Donald Trump made the tweet at 4:40 at the same time.
yeah.
There's no freaking way.
I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about it.
Oh,
Like you
you know,
say.
you don't have to worry about the verbiage because I already made a stream that day that it happened,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I used his name too. I thought they were going to take it down because I used his name as the title, and
Ah,
I was being honest. My first honest opinion. That's what Malcolm X would call chickens coming home to roost.
this is sad. 31 years old, has 2 kids, a
But
wife.
I was glad to debate him a year and a half ago on his live stream. I
Oh, good
remember when
for
he
you.
I, I remember when he first started. He started with
Oh,
a small card table and a piece of poster board that said "Prove me wrong." And whenever there was a rally or a protest, he would set up that card table, sit behind it, and be drinking soda pops. He would be by himself. He was small time then, and he started his YouTube channel at the same time. And then he became part of the national stage and became a mouthpiece for the Conservative Party.
Yeah.
I said, you put yourself out there and say a lot of things that people do not agree with, you're going to get a bullet in your head. And that's what happened.
So sad. You're just so sad. Such a waste.
Yeah, but the people that jump to conclusions right away baffles me. I'm like, you don't know who the freak did this.
No,
There's a lot of crazy people out there.
a lot.
And the ones that were blaming they were blaming the left wing radicals. Okay, now that they all feel like horses' asses because they found out that this kid that they got is heavily MAGA and Republican Party,
Wow.
and because that this trans kid shot up that church in Minnesota, oh, then they're going to make it sound like all these mass shootings are by trans people, which is not true. There's only been four mass shootings with somebody that was doing it that was trans. Now, how many of mass shootings have there been in the past 10 years? Over 1,000. And who have they been done by? White dudes that are heavily right wing and can't get laid. They're on
Isn't that
4chan.
weird,
I thought 4chan was taken down. It started with 8chan. That was taken down, and I know 4chan came around, but I thought they took that down also. But 4chan still exists. There's chat rooms on 4chan of these kind of people talking about it. They're groups of people that their heroes are these people that pull off these mass shootings. And I'm like, okay, you're not. I mean, you could let it go, let them do what they want to, because they'll hang themselves. You can identify these people before they do something. But I guess they don't.
Landing, Josh.
Yeah. Hey,
But
Sean.
I know, Josh. But all I got to say is 400. Man, imagine this: 400 feet, and he was elevated. Okay, that's like standing out on the wall in a major league baseball field in center field and shooting somebody standing next to home plate. That's a long freaking way, and your target is not very big at all.
This guy's that good. Who knows?
I'm glad Adrian showed up because I know he knows guns because he's from Texas.
That's
And he knows
exactly
exactly-
right.
And that's world class precision there.
Great buddy.
It is world class precision there. What you're talking about, it is
Because yeah, I Google Earthed it so I can measure it from point A to point B. Now my first assumption where he was, I thought he was to his left on the roof, which was 300 feet away. But no, they showed the video where he jumped down off the roof. I said that he had to have done the shooting from that roof, and that's directly in front of him to his right a little bit. And that's over 400 feet away. I'm like, no way.
Yeah,
That's what I said.
well, if you remember the JFK assassination thing that took place in Dallas, Texas, a long time ago, there, the guy who shot Kennedy was in a faraway building too when he shot him. And you know how he learned that by he's a former Marine.
Oh, you're talking
The guy
about
who shot
Wow.
you think it was
the guy
Oswald that did it?
Yeah, Oswald did it.
Well, they did paraffin tests on Oswald and proved that he didn't even fire a weapon.
Well, apparently they said that he did, but I don't know. But from what I heard is that JFK was shot in the head with the rifle there. So
Yeah, but the first shot will always be the best. And here the third shot is right on dead on target. No way. And that came from the right and front of the president.
yeah,
And there was nobody to discuss the shot that went through the windshield and hit Kennedy in the throat.
yeah. But the person who shot Kennedy from what I understood, is a former Marine.
Well, Oswald was a Marine, yes, but Oswald did none of the shooting. He wasn't even on the 6th floor. He was on the 3rd floor having lunch because the girls that worked as secretaries saw him there, and he was standing next to the phone waiting for a phone call that never came.
Okay, so my question is, then why are they blaming Lee Harvey Oswald for shooting Kennedy? Then why are they blaming him for it?
Well,
That's what I don't understand.
this is what we can't prove it, but what it shows, we don't know if he was an agent where he was to take place in this assassination or to prevent it. But we can't through investigations over the years, we still can't tell if he. But his mother said he was a CIA agent, which I believe, because at that time there is no way that you can go to Russia, defect to Russia at that time, and then come back with a wife.
Zenny.
No, not at that time. You couldn't. That was the Cold War, middle of the Cold War.
Hi, Zenny.
You were blacklisted if you defected to Russia back then, and then to come back 6 months later.
Yeah.
Well,
With
if
the
you defect
Russian
to
wife?
Russia, if you're a U.S. citizen back then, and you decided to defect over to Russia, then you would have to denounce your citizenship here in America just to go over to Russia. Period.
He did, but he had no
Okay.
money. He had no money, but he had money to travel and to get back here with a wife and kid. No way.
That's
That's why-
totally impossible.
That's why through a lot of investigation, it's proven that Oswald had nothing to do with it, but he also wasn't an agent.
See.
Well, they've done a ton of investigation stuff there, and if they've done all that investigations, then how come they haven't been able to prove then who's the one that shot Kennedy? Then that's what I've been figuring out for a long time.
It has been proven with evidence because the guy, he's dead now. He came forward and done a couple of interviews. I can't remember his name, but he said that he was with four other gunmen, and he was going to be behind the fence in the grassy knoll. And he had a new concept weapon called the Fireball. It looked like a giant pistol, but it was a small rifle, but it was smaller than an assault rifle would. And you only got one shot. It was a 30-06 shell case, and you'd only get one shot. And he took the shot, and he hit him in the head, and then he dislodged the round and broke and put it in the suitcase. Gave it to somebody else, and he took the empty shell casing and he bit it and put it on the ledge of the fence. Wow. And yes, that shell casing that was bit by teeth was taken in evidence. Now, if he had known that, because the FBI and nobody investigating it released that information of that shell casing, and he mentioned it, there's no way that some Joe Schmo wouldn't have known that. About that shell
crazy,
case.
Man. That's crazy.
That's why he said, because he was in prison and everything for other things, but he admitted he did it, and he said there were three other gunmen. And he said, at the end of it, when we were talking to one another, we were saying how much of a piss poor shot the other guys were, except for the one that hit him in the throat. The first shot that hit anybody in that car was the throat shot. And he said, if you would have hit him in the head there, nobody else would have taken a shot. Me, I would have put the gun back in the case and walked off. But he hit him in the throat.
Sure says hello.
Hello.
Sure says hello to Adrian.
But I read all of Jim Garrison's work, okay? The district attorney from Louisiana. And what the government, going by the government story, 3 shots, 6 seconds by Oswald. Okay, let's look at this. You got the
colorful feathers.
You got the headshot. Okay, that leaves 2 shots, and then you got the superficial wound that happened to James Teague up under the triple underpass. It was a bullet that hit the sidewalk and fragmented, and a fragment made a wound on Teague's face under the triple underpass. That's 2 shots. So now we got 1 shot left that has to account for the 7 wounds in the Kennedy and Connolly. And that's when Arlen Specter, a junior attorney, came up with the idea of the magic bullet theory. That's why I like Senator Long from Louisiana. I'll even add the accent too. He goes, then they got that bullet zigzagging all over the place. It's Kennedy and Connolly 7 times. 1 pristine bullet, that dog don't hunt.
Okay, so now that you've told me all this information and everything, now I'm understanding it now.
Yeah, see, when JFK come out, the movie with Oliver Stone, I was in college, and all of us got together and we stopped playing Dungeons and Dragons, and we really did. They said, let's all investigate this ourselves. Let's find something that others haven't looked at, just like you do if you were studying Karl Marx. Let's look at things that other people haven't looked at, and let's see if they missed something in retrospect we might want to focus on. Well, it took me years later, and I found one thing because I contacted Jesse Ventura about it, and he responded. I was shocked that he responded to my message. I said, Jesse, did anybody ever know that when you take a tour of the book suppository, you can go to the window where the supposed 3 shots that Oswald took, and the shell casings are on the floor? 3 shell casings from his Carcano, which was a shitty weapon in the first place. I said, these shell casings are in the same spot they were the day of the assassin. Yep. And I said, there's no way, ma'am. I said, anybody here that was shot a bolt-action rifle, when you pull that hammer back, that shell casing will go flying 4 to 5 feet to your right. They're not going to go straight down.
So former Governor Jesse Ventura answered your message, huh?
I asked him, I said, did anybody trace or see this and notice a rat when they saw the shell casings? They should be 3 to 4 feet to his right. And Jesse said, no one's ever looked at that, and you are right. They would have ended up over to his right.
How did you get in contact with the former governor himself? How did you get in contact with him?
Through his email.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now he doesn't respond, but his son does it for him and reads his emails or whatever. But he'll respond, and his son will type it out for him. He said,
Oh,
"No,
wow.
no one's ever looked at that and mentioned that." And he goes, "I'm surprised I missed that." I said, "Jesse, I know you know what I'm talking about because you fired bolt-action rifles in the military, also." Well, I fired the same weapons, and that's one thing I noticed. Wait a minute, I remember firing this bolt-action rifle with some friends of mine, and then the shell casings. Every time you pull that hammer back, they go flying to the right.
Wow. I didn't know that.
And
You see, like, back,
and
that's crazy.
And everybody's tried that. They've got a bolt action rifle and they say, time me. And they're, and he goes, that's with barely aiming. But what Senator Long said made all the sense. In all assassinations, it takes skill to kill with a rifle. And the first shot is always going to be the best, not the third.
Not the first shot will be good, but not your second or third shots.
No.
Those don't count. Just the first one has.
Yeah.
The first one will be the only shot that you get that will count. Wherever positioning you're in for that. So it just depends where you're at and what you're aiming at. That's one thing you have to look at.
But being 400 feet away, that, the only people that could have pulled that off is a professional assassin or a former Marine sniper. That's it. A former
military personnel that was in the military could do that. Either a Marine or an Army, or one of the Army guys could do that, pull that off too. But they'd have to be very professional about their shot and precision on that.
But when this happened that day, I started approaching this just like I did in the JFK assassination. I measured shit. That's what I love about Google Maps is you can bring it up on Google Maps and measure it, how far or what. And I'm like, wait a minute, he's jumping off this other building. And then I Google Earth did it again. And I'm like, he's in the building that is right in front of him. And where he was on that roof, that's over 400 feet away. That is a long ways away.
Yep. It is. But if you notice now, like, like when Trump was doing his political campaign, they've already tried to assassinate him twice.
I don't believe that.
Well, the first time they got him on his ear, but they were close to getting him in the head.
Well, I'd say he didn't get hit at all. But let me tell you this: they're wanting to. I investigated that just like I did this one. They tried to put the gunman behind this tree, okay, on the roof,
okay,
where that sniper team facing him would not have seen him. And I call BS. I said, if you put him there, he's not going to have a clear shot to Donald Trump because the grandstand and that jumbotron are in the way. The back of the grandstand. Because that building, we're not talking about level ground here. Where Trump had his rally there, the grandstand and everything was on a plateau. If you were to walk towards the building the gunman was on, you would go down a 10-foot hill, and then it would level off again, and then there's the building. I said the only way he could have made this shot with the grandstand and jumbotron wasn't in the way was to be on the far portion of the roof, and those guys, sniper team, could easily have seen him. The people before the shots even rang out, they saw these people, got him on film climbing up onto the roof and crawling on the roof. They would not if he was behind that tree, then those people would have never saw him. Yep. But the news has to put him behind the tree to cover for that sniper team, because there's no way that sniper team behind Trump could not have seen him. There's no way.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way for them to see where he was positioned and everything like that.
That's why a lot of people who try to pull things off and get people to believe that this is the way it happened, they hate me because I prove them wrong through logic.
Well, of course. because you know the facts already. You know, you get the
Yeah,
facts real quickly there. So
I Google Earthed it because Google Earth updates. Google Maps
every
doesn't
day,
update it. I think
Google Earth
every few
updates
days.
every day. Every few
Oh,
days,
okay.
Google Earth updates all the time. But every 5 or 6 days, there Google Maps will update on your cell phone if you got it. It's like the only thing for GPS anyway. So
Yeah. What I did is the grandstand and all that stuff wasn't there on Google Earth. So I took a screenshot and I took my pen and I draw it and I looked at the pictures that people have taken of that site when Trump was there, and I sketched in where the grandstand and the stage were, and I said there is no way he couldn't even see Trump from behind that tree on the roof. He had to go all the way to the end there to do it in order to get around the grandstand to have a clear shot at Trump.
yep.
But I do not think that Trump was even hit with a fragment. Not even
Then
close.
what I don't get, if he wasn't hit with not even one fragment, then why did he have his ear bandaged up? What's that?
Yeah, and when you look at it today, it looks normal. No, no, no. He get hit with a high-powered round like that, his ear would have blew off. Where he got
Yeah.
hit, supposedly got hit. No, that lobe would have been blown off. See,
Yep,
he's
and he would
Fred.
have to have ear reconstructive
Yeah,
surgery just to fix
yeah.
that.
He was a long friend of Vince McMahon, and Vince McMahon knows
Hang
blood
on.
because they do it in wrestling.
Okay.
And plus, it would have hurt too, Darren. Even if it was a fragment, that would have hurt. Getting hit anywhere. And the supposed attempt on his life at a golf course, that was a joke.
Hi, Joe JC.
But then you ask the question, okay, if they did this, who benefit? Who had the power to cover it up? And why was this done? Those are the three major questions. Now, this comes from retired Colonel Leroy Fletcher Prouty, which was a part
And
of,
thank you.
of John F. Kennedy's chief of staff.
Thank you, Joe JC.
Why would they have him gunned down? Well, it
Thank you,
puts the
Maiden.
it puts the narrative in the direction that you want it to go, and everybody knew if this person had not been assassinated, but you were to say what happened, what would happen if some gunman gunned down Charlie Kirk? Everybody would tell you, "Oh, the left did it," and you know, let's have civil war. No, no, no. Civil war is not what we need in this country. Revolution, yes, not civil war. Civil war isn't going to solve anything besides we'll get a lot of people killed. A revolution, revolution's different. And we know what happened over in France in 1789. All those rich people getting beheaded. And the royalty getting beheaded. Yeah, that's a start. The French knew what they were doing because that's why I contacted Cadell in France. I said, "Hey, can you get the National Razor out of the museum there?" He goes, "Are you crazy, Sean?" He goes, "No." I said, "The National Razor is hungry. It hasn't seen blood in a couple hundred years."
That's crazy.
He goes, "Yeah, I know you want to be Maximilian Robespierre." I said, "Sort of."
Yeah, that's funny.
But see, I didn't go like when something like this happens. I'll pay attention to the media a little bit, but I drown the noise out because it doesn't do anybody any good. And it doesn't prove shit. And I go with the facts. Facts is that shot was taken 400 feet away, and that's a small target from that distance. And
Yeah.
You got a
Let's
15
see
mile an
if
hour
that's
wind. You had a 15 mile an hour wind, and you're on top of a roof on a downslope because that weird house shaped, when you look at it in Google Maps or Google Earth, it's house shaped, but it's like stepping down. You're on a decline, and gravity acts different on a downslope than it does if the land is flat. If the land is flat, the gravity acts differently on a downslope.
Feel better soon.
So
One game.
So whoever did this, they
Cool.
they factored in the wind, and the wind had really no bearing on this. It was gravity that, instead of him getting hit directly in the head, he got hit in the neck. It hit his jugular right away, Darren. I got the footage. It hit his jugular right away because that blood came out just like, you remember when those hockey players got their throat slit? The goalie from Buffalo, I was at that game. And
I
that
saw
defensive
YouTube video. I saw a YouTube video on it.
And that defensive player from Florida Panthers got his throat slit by a skate, and the blood just squirts out right away. I mean, it's really bad. Well, it hit his jugular because that blood just went boom. It just came out.
Yeah, it was bad. Thank you, Graciel. Thank you, in-game.
Yeah, the footage I got wasn't from YT, and I'm surprised YT allowed it to be posted. I got it off Scoops before it was taken down.
Oh, it'll be taken down off YT.
I downloaded it from Scoops.
It said it was you had to agree content you're over 18 and then they're allowed.
Well, that's normal, but I think YT would take it down because the FBI and whoever's investigating would ask them to take it down. But I got it on Scoops, and I downloaded it right away so they can take it down. I still have it.
Yeah, Tammy says it's on TikTok.
That's why I like Scoops, because you can download it in case they take it down and you don't have it. Well, I have it. You have to take it off my phone because I downloaded it.
Yeah.
And it was from somebody on his left. And you clearly could see it. And there's this one.
He was looking straight at.
Well, it was on his left. Everybody else is right looking at him. It was on his left part of the neck.
I thought it was the opposite. I thought it was the opposite. Everybody looking at him was left. But him, he was looking this way, right. That's the way I saw it.
No, you must have been looking at a reverse negative because he got hit in the left jugular on the neck.
Could have.
And there was this one.
Reverse negative.
No, it's not reverse negative because you can read everything on that's perfect. It's not flipped. Like you said, prove me wrong. You could read it. It's not reverse. There's also another angle that I got by luck from his opposite side and closer to him. And he got hit before you heard the shot. That means that was pretty far away that he got hit. He was already hit before everybody else heard the shot. Yeah, that's why sense. he didn't and I'll guarantee you he didn't hear it coming. It just happened.
Yeah, of course. That's I assume normal.
I'd say it's like 3 to 4 tenths of a second you see him and then you hear the shot. It's about 3 or 4 tenths of a second.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was glad to have debated him and whip his ass on YT when he wasn't so popular back in the day. That was about a little over a year and a half ago. See, I remember him. I remember him 4 years ago. He had set up a card table with a piece of poster board that said, "Prove me wrong." He had no guards, no nothing. He'd do YT. He'd show up to these rallies and these protests and set up that card table and sit behind it drinking soda pop. And people would approach him. He would talk to them. And then here in the past couple of years, he got onto a major platform stage and became friends with Trump and started making millions of dollars then. But he still kept his YouTube channel. That's where I debated him and saying, why are you worried about what gay and trans people do if you're not in on it? Yeah. I said, I got a lot of people that are that way. Doesn't mean I partake, but I don't worry myself about what other people do with their lives. It's not my life.
Yeah.
I'm not in on what they do. So why give a shit? And then I had to explain to him who the Semitic people are. He thought they were just Jews. I said, no, being Jewish is a religion. Being Semitic is a race. And that's the entire Middle East, Palestinians included. So how could you call me anti-Semitic if I'm supporting the Palestinians? Your story dissolves on you now, don't it? That's how it got me. That's why he booted me off his live. When you whip his ass, you get booted off. And I knew that was going to happen. But it made my point. I said, Google it. Everybody else Googles it because nobody goes to a library and picks up a book anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody Googles everything. And then I wouldn't trust that
3 minutes.
because Google is also wrong too. You
Correct.
have opinion and you don't get the facts.
Correct. It can be live. Or wrong, sorry. Let's see if that is live.
But I hope that incident that happened on the 10th would wake everybody up to what I've been saying for a long time. I said, the United States is not the country that you once knew. It's getting bad by the day here. You're the only one that seems to understand, Darren and Adrian. But everybody else seems to be oblivious to it. Like I'm joking. No. Thousands of people are losing their job daily. Thousands of people are being put out of their homes. That's why, like the squatters area in Manila, it's gotten worse. But I said I could show you places in Detroit that look just like that. And people thought I was joking, and I'm not. Now that's everywhere. Damn near everywhere. Every city you go to, you're going to see an area like the squatters area in Manila. Maybe not as big, but getting there.
Wow.
But see, that's why a lot of people don't like talking about it because nobody wants to hear the truth and the facts. They want to go by feeling and go by what. Well, that's not what they told me on the news, and the
Yeah, they should
people
keep an open mind.
people
For sure.
people still
Well,
live by that. People still live by that assumption. Oh, we're Americans. They wouldn't lie to us. So believe everything your government tells you. We won't lie to you. That's been bullshit. I learned that back in the early 90s that it was bullshit because they lied to us about the Kennedy assassination. And then 9/11 happens, and then we come to find out that it wasn't all what it was said to be. I was believing it up to later on that day when Building 7 collapsed. And I'm like, that was a controlled demolition. And it wasn't hit by a plane or anything. But and yet this building collapsed under its own footprint like it did. And it kinked in the middle just like a controlled demolition. I'm like, nah, I smell a rat. And then you got flight stewardess trying to remind people and tell people that who do not know, unless you fly on a frequent basis, that Flight 93, with all those so-called cell phone calls coming to their loved ones and saying, let's roll, cell phones do not work at altitude. They probably do now, but back in 2001, no way. No cell phones worked at altitude. And flight stewardess, anybody who works in the industry will tell you that. So that was a big friggin' lie, whoever invented it. Flight 93 rose up, and no, they didn't. And plus, the impact in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, is the same signature of a cruise missile. And they couldn't find one thing that dealt with a plane there. Not one thing. Oh, it disintegrated. I'm sorry, but I've worked with titanium steel, and it doesn't disintegrate. And that was the first time in history we had 3 plane crashes in one day and couldn't find anything that dealt with a plane at the Pentagon or in Shanksville. None. in a plane like that, and you look at the hole in the Pentagon, it's like, no. And the people that survived that worked at the Pentagon, said that was no plane that hit us. The nearest survivor to that was a matter of 100 feet away from that, and said that was no plane that hit us. And just with all the thing, and they plowed the grounds and dumped gravel and then put sod down. Yeah, that's what you do when you try to cover up an investigation where there can't be one now. But it's painfully obvious that the most secure place on the planet, and they have what, 4 frames that they released to the public? And I'm like, even when you see the explosion, you're going to see the tail end of the plane. There wasn't one. But
I just have my premiere. I'll be back.
We Americans are gullible, and a lot of them will continue to believe that. And I said, yes, now you know. The people in Germany in 1933 said the same thing. Believe everything your government tells you. We won't lie to you. Believe everything your news media tells you. But they call me a conspiracy theory. I said, well, the Warren Commission of the JFK assassination and the 9/11 Commission report is all conspiracy theory either, because they can't prove any of that. In France, they call that touche. And people get mad at me. I said, don't get mad at me, because God blessed me with brains. And I had a good education. Enough to know, growing up in the city of Chicago, and then all of a sudden you see a few things that are off, and you're like, I smell bullshit. As Arlie Ermy would always say in his movies, I smell bullshit.
On my premiere.
Oh, if Adrian's still here, about Oswald, his Marine buddies testified about Oswald and said he had MAGA's draws. You know what that means? That means he wasn't any good. I like that Senator Long said it. He had MAGA's draws. You know what that means? That means he wasn't any good. But I'm telling you, people, you're going to learn a lot. And me, why would I lie to people? I mean, I didn't come up with this stuff. This is what you learn when you do some digging. And you don't immediately consider it as facts, but it fits the shoe fits. But when people come up with these elaborate stories about, aliens or people from another dimension or lizard people, and I'm like, do you have any proof of this at all? No. And then they distract you by going on and talking about something else. That's called moving the goalposts. And I'm like, I'm not buying it. Just like about Bigfoot. Bigfoot, everything known to man has been hit by a truck like the one that I'm in right now and drive. And a Bigfoot has not been hit by a truck like mine. So that's why it doesn't exist yet. And you're talking about a primitive animal. Yes, that's like a human. But even human beings have been hit by a truck like this. So intelligence should have nothing to do with this.
There you go.
Just like in this one, some miracle I didn't damage the truck, but I took out 3 deer in one shot.
Wow.
Instead of continuing to run to the side of the road, like in the direction they were going. They turned because of my headlights. They turned away from me and started running along with me, and I'm like, boop, took all three of them
Really?
out. And I stopped the truck, looked around with a flashlight, and I'm like, I'll be damned. There's no damage.
Wow. You're lucky. You were lucky.
Yes, I was. Because that could tore my entire undercarriage up, and that cost a lot of money. Tore my airline, electrical lines, fuel line, everything. Tore
Did
all
you
that
see?
shit up.
Did you see any live moose in northern U.S. or
Uh,
because they're
uh,
huge?
rarely. The only
Those are
time you get a
huge.
well, they're big out west compared to the east. You go to the
Yeah.
North American Northwest, if you see one, they're huge, yes. But in Maine and Quebec, they're not that big.
Oh.
I've seen one up in Maine once. It was just standing there, roaming around the rest area, and
Looking for food.
the last one I saw was in Idaho on Interstate 90, and this one was huge. It could walk up to my truck, like
Look in.
normal, and look in my window. Yeah, that's how tall it was. I mean, these things are huge.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing?
Remember that video I shared with you about a year or two ago? These two mooses were fighting, and they ended up in the back of that guy's pickup truck, and he was yelling, "Ma, ma, there's a buffalo or a moose. Call the AFPA, like they're going to be able to help you." It was during the mating
Ah,
season, is what it was, and they were fighting. And I'm like, as soon as they hit the back of his pickup truck, and one of them jumped in it, I'm like, they're tearing the hell out of that pickup truck.
oh yeah.
I'll try to find that video and send it to you again.
Those
Ma,
antlers.
ma.
Ooh.
He was yelling for his ma, call the police. All this other stuff. It was hilarious.
Not
I'm like,
much to do.
each one of those animals weigh about 1,800 pounds apiece. You want to get in between there and break them up? I wouldn't dare to do that.
No.
Because they're fighting over who gets to breed with the females, which weren't even around at the time. It's like, so what are you
Oh.
fighting over? That's like these guys that fight over these 304s at clubs and everything. And I've seen it many a time in my mom's bar. These guys are fighting over a broad, and she ends up going home with some other dude. So
Oh.
you two just pounded each other's brains out for nothing. Like you get on Scoops or something like that and watch these girls fighting. I call them 304s. They're fighting over Chad or Tyrone, and I'm telling them in the chat portion there post. I
Yeah.
said, here we got two 304s fighting over Tyrone, who probably at the same time they're fighting is laying the pipe to another female.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. You're beating each other's brains out for nothing. But they'll find that out later on. Oh, man, well, beating your ass. He was sitting there. He was having sex with another girl. Yeah, that's how that game goes when you're messing with Tyrone or Chad. Because those guys, they got a long line of girls waiting behind you. You're not nothing special, and they think that they were special.
Premier is over.
And I got 3 older sisters. I knew about it years
Oh.
ago. They all went through the same thing too.
Oh. Okay. Who loves the winner? let's pin the next one. Kyle Castro, the drummer boy. 65th like. Thank you.
Tammy, that was a train. The Ukrainian lady? Yeah, that tells you a lot about Americans and their mentality. You can be bleeding to death sitting right next to them and nobody does a thing.
This boy is super talented. Oh, shut out. Okay, done. Done.
And if Cher's still here, I kind of wish ET would come over
Yay,
here.
yay.
Oh.
Oh, that's not good. Were you brought up in a farm? Yes. That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, if you put aside if you put aside actions like this, that tells you nothing, you know, about what you're looking at. It's the mentality of the people that live in the country.
Wow.
And I'm hoping people would look at the mentality of a lot of people that live here in America. There's a major cult of the self. That's why a lot of Americans are selfish and they're arrogant because of the cult of the self. They only worry about what's in it for me instead of thinking about everybody else.
That's not good.
There are some now that do think of others, but they're the same. They're the same type of people that claim to be all Christian like and go to church on Sunday, and on Monday cheer those kids Mexican kids thrown in cages on Monday. And there's no psychic dissidence for these people. They're like, a bell doesn't go off saying, oh, we're talking about Christian values yesterday, and now we're cheering these kids being thrown into cages. It's like, no bell goes off. It's like, there's something wrong here. Well, it doesn't happen to me, so I don't care. And a lot of these people, these what I call them evil evangelicals, think that Jesus came here to make us rich, especially American white people. No, he did not do that.
Thank you, Mickey.
I don't know what Bible they're reading from, but now that Trump came out with that one Bible, yeah, Trump probably had anything put in there and people would believe it.
Sold out.
He came here to make us rich. You know, Jesus would love to think about the poor, but he's got investors to worry about. See how stupid that sounds?
Thank you for the like. So funny. So funny.
But in truth, Jesus came here. He'd never judged anybody. And he came here to lift people up, not tear them down.
Correct.
And I challenge anybody, if he did any of those things, you tell me where I can find it. Because believe me, I looked hard. Yeah, and I'm one of a few people that almost got thrown. I've never been thrown in jail or had to been worried about getting arrested, except one time when I was in Italy. When I was
you arrested once in Italy?
No, I almost could have gotten arrested. And what could I have done that would have got me arrested at St. Peter's Cathedral? Well, I was wanting to read books in their library that are locked away, like a lot of the things that weren't added to the typical Bible, like the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. I wanted to read it, but I was told by Cardinal O'Connor that yes, it does exist, and he really won't discuss it because the Council in Nicaea decided what went in the Bible and what didn't. Men, not God, men decided that. And this isn't the King James version of the Bible. This is called the Geneva Bible. King James. A lot of people don't think. They just say it like, "Oh, that's a lovely name." Do you know who King James was? If people were to find out who King James was, they'd be like, I don't know if I really want to trust and read this Bible. Yeah, he changed some things. Well, one of the things he changed was he made it to where royalty was divine. Yes, he changed things to benefit him, regardless of what the Word of God said, you know.
Ooh.
So, and King James was not one
Hey,
of the.
Blondie.
You look at his private life and what he did, you'd be like, I'm not going to read this Bible anymore. Anyway, there's many different versions of the Bible, but the Geneva Bible was the one that was decided on the Council of Nicaea. But the friend that I was with, he helped me pass it off that I was special, and I was there. I was acting like um, from the movie Rain Man. I didn't. He goes, "Don't say Judge Wapner because they don't know who the hell that is." But what I was doing was completely innocent.
Hey,
I was trying to.
Alfie.
I was trying to break into a restricted area just to read some books,
Oh,
and and they weren't in English language. They were in Aramaic. But I was going to take photos as quickly as I could of those pages and have it translated. But I did get to talk to Cardinal O'Connor from Chicago, and one of the questions I asked him is capitalism evil, and he said yes. Every man of the cloth will tell you that. And I asked him why. He said because it exploits the mass of people for the so few. You look at our economic system, capitalism, and think to yourself, is that what Jesus would want or do? No, he would
thank
not.
you, Alfie.
Jesus wouldn't tell you, well, you can't afford this surgery, go home and die. We're not going to treat you because you can't pay for it. You think Jesus would support that? Now, in the Trump Bible, probably, you get people to believe it. You can't pay for it, so you're going to go home and die. Or you're going to frantically bankrupt your family to try to save your child that could be dying of something. And if you get them treated and can't pay for it, they can hold your child hostage until you do pay for it. See, a lot of people don't know about that either, but it does go on. Look it up.
Alfie, thank you. Salamat.
Then you get people say, oh, that's different. No, you can't put your Christianity and Jesus on hold because of an issue like this. Like in the Lord's Prayer, they changed the word instead of depths, they changed it to trespass. For
Alpha.
those who trespass against us, no, it's actually debts. Forgive my man's debts for those who did debt against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Yeah, that was changed. Because the bankers and the rich, they want their money.
Yes.
Sounds all Christian like and everything. And I like these rich people try to out Jesus you. And I tell everybody, don't drink the Kool-Aid if it's orange. Especially if it's orange, don't drink it.
Really? Why? Alpha, make a love shout out. Let's check Alpha vlog here. Go to channel. I'm a new subscriber now, Alpha. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And believe it or not, I just want to tell everybody this. I'm for the working class and the poor. I am not for rich folks. Okay? Because they already have all more than what they need. But I've always been for everybody else. Why? Because you're hearing my voice and everybody here, we have more in common than you will ever will with these rich people. They cannot identify with you. Sure, they would treat you nice to your face and be all nice and like you're the greatest. But after you walk away, they already forgot who you were and don't care. Why? Because you can't do anything for them.
That's right.
You're beneath them. They only converse amongst each other. That's why when I was at Mar-a-Lago and talked to them wives, billionaire wives that were like 30 to 40 years younger than their husbands, the girl was drunk, but she was in tears and she was telling me, I love that TV show Friends. I would love to have a life like that, but I can't. These people can't function in society normally. They don't go to the grocery store. They don't do any of their own shopping. Okay? That's a start to think about what kind of life they have. They can't do that because of who they are or their wealth. They can't do that. They have workers and servants do it for them.
Wow.
They can't function in normal society like us. They're totally different.
That's right.
Now, when they approach you on TV, you're like, "Oh, I can have a beer with this guy. I can go fishing." We do. He would do none of the sort. But you go by his personality, he sounds like that. Yeah, but it's all cosplay. The only time you're going to catch somebody like Donald Trump in public is when he's on a golf course, and that's
Right.
if you can get in the golf course. You just can't waltz on these golf courses and have a conversation with the rich folk. No. You got to go through a gate and you got to go through security. And if you're not rich, get out of here. They're not even going to let you in.
That's right. It's almost sad. It's almost sad.
And how I know, they weren't billionaires, but they were millionaires. My cousins
Yeah.
on my mom's side, her older sister, she was the middle child.
Yeah.
She married a guy, and they had kids, and he owned a die-cast business in Michigan. Yes, they had millions, and we barely could relate to them. And when they all died, and the kids and their kids got this massive, inheritance, and it only took some of them a year to burn through it, and they pissed it all away. They're standing there with their hat in their hands, asking us for help. And it's like, you didn't even want to know who we were. We were there because my aunt died, and you guys were more worried about a fucking inheritance. So that ought to tell you the mentality of wealthy people.
Thank you, gardening. It's
They're more worried. They're more worried about the money than a blood family member. That ought to tell you the mentality of these people.
Ooh, crazy.
That's why some of these investors, like on Wall Street, some guy, oh, I invested in Bitcoin. How many shares you own? Oh, I own about 80. I'm like, okay.
Ooh, 80
These
Bitcoin?
Now, hold on a second. You got all these people that invest in Bitcoin, and you got a lot of wealthy people that do too. I said, you may have 80 shares in Bitcoin, but
You
let
don't
me
have
tell you
shares
something.
in Bitcoin.
But let me tell you something. You could think that you're just like the major shareholders, but you're not. The major shareholders own millions of shares. You have 80. You can think that you're just like them, but you must understand you're not. Because that when they like in a corporation and that has shares, the shareholders have a yearly election. Is it one person, one vote? No, one share, one vote. So if
Ooh.
you have 80 shares of something, you get to make 80 votes. If you are Chase Manhattan Bank or for your various accounts have 27 million shares, then the vice president of the major shareholders of that company you send to there and cast the 27 million votes. So that tells you who decides these elections, where your small investment is nothing. That's what they call them, major shareholders.
Yeah. Uh,
And a lot of people get insulted when I say that. I was like, no, that's true.
Funny.
You could have a couple thousand shares in something, and you're still nowhere near in the ballpark. You're not even in the parking lot compared to these people that own the major shares of a corporation. You're like 10 miles away from the stadium.
Yeah, yeah, true. So where are you now, Sean?
I'm in Eastern Ohio. I got to deliver this at 7 o'clock in the morning in Pittsburgh, which is only a
Wow.
couple hours away. And then once I deliver it to Giant Eagle, I got to deadhead down to Morganville, West Virginia, get a load, and head to Florida. I'm going to the Everglades.
Yay.
And as soon as I said that, everybody's contacting me. You gonna go buy alligator Alcatraz? I said, I know where it's at, and probably not. And
I
they
think
closed it
it
down.
down.
Yeah, they did. The Supreme Court made them close it down.
Yeah, because a lot of people got sick. It was just
Yeah, and yeah, it had all those people buy merch. Yeah, it had all those people buy merch that Donald Trump created, alligator Alcatraz and everything. Oh, that's lovely. I'm like, if you're a truck driver, just keep wearing that MAGA hat when you go to Southern Cal or in the Southwest of the United States, or if you go to Kansas and see, you're going to still be sitting there. They're not going to touch you. They're not going to unload you. They're not going to load you. They're going to do everybody else besides you because you're wearing that freaking hat.
Oh no, Tammy. That's what happens with little dogs. That's true. That's not good.
I'll never forget that. That was last year. That dude was wearing that MAGA hat, and I'm thinking this guy's an idiot to do that, especially here. But that shows you the mentality of Americans. He thought he was going to get his ass kissed, and they were going to do everything for him, and they did absolutely nothing. Because same guy, passed me in that truck. It was a classic KW. He passed me in, and he's parked off to the side to the drivers that are waiting for a door. Yeah. I get there. They saw me with my Mexican mask on at that time. They put me in a door right away and unloaded me, and I got dispatched from that same place up to Washington State. They reloaded me, and I was out of there. And that guy's still sitting there, and he came up to me and asked, he goes, "They got you unloaded?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they got me reloaded, and I'm headed to Washington. Yeah. I said, "You might want to reconsider taking that hat off, or you're going to be sitting here." Because why? Because they can. They can make you sit as long as they want. He's like, "Motherfucker, man!" I really started cussing like a truck driver. I said, "You can cuss like a truck driver all you want. It still does not take you out of the disposition that you're in. Even if you take that hat off, they're probably still going to look down at you and treat you like shit. I mean, you did it to yourself, douchebag." Like my Philippine friends here that can hear my voice. Just imagine somebody is delivering product to a place that you work at, and they're wearing a T-shirt or a hat that said, "All Filipinos suck." What are you going to do? Do business with them? Get them unloaded or whatever? No, you're going to make them sit. Well, rightfully so. Sure, there's freedom of speech, but there's also not freedom from the consequences of that speech, because people tend to forget the consequences that come with that.
Sure.
That's why my friends in Europe, especially Cadell, he was like, "I pity you."
Hi, Josh.
I'm like, hi, I'm glad my friends in Europe totally understand me and what I'm going through.
Thank you, RJ.
And when the French pity you, that's the end of the line. When the French pity you.
That's true. Hi, Melvin.
makes me wish that Mama Trump back in the day would have swallowed him instead of. I better not finish that. You should have swallowed him, not that. No.
Oh no, damn it.
All the Filipinos right now are like, oh, he's sick bastard, dude. Ugh.
Thank you. Namaste, RJ.
He went to a military academy like I did. Now, guarantee you, if he went to House at the same time I went, he's the type of person we would have grabbed on a daily basis, drug him to the toilet, and stick his head in the toilet. I'll guarantee you that he would have been the one that we would have done that almost on a daily basis. Why? Because it straightens you out pretty quickly. That toilet water washes your face and your head and hopefully makes it to the brain to where you start thinking and making better decisions. And we didn't care if somebody flushed or didn't. There goes the head, right? And then all of a sudden when you yank them out, the water goes flying everywhere and the toilet automatically flushes without hitting the lever.
That's funny.
So hopefully that stupidity that you got in your brain just went down in the toilet with it, you know. But that was one of the punishments we did to each other. You screw up, yeah, and do stupid shit, your head's going to go in the toilet. Thank God it never happened to me because I didn't do stupid shit. Yeah. But I got initiated just like the rest of everybody else. But I paid for it a little bit more. The commanding cadet was friends of mine. It was our neighbor. And he thought it was funny when we're coming off that ledge in front of the girls wearing nothing but boxer short and our dress hat, doing the truffle shuffle. I was one of the last few to come out, and he yanks my boxer shorts down to my knees. I heard one of the upperclassmen girls across the field in the building, "Woohoo! That's a nice ass." That was embarrassing. And then
that's crazy.
And when we made it back to the room, he told me, he goes, "Sean, look, I did that. It was funny, but we did that because it breaks the ice to the girls when we have our ball."
Tristona VR, make a love shout out.
Yeah, every year there's a ball and a dance and a dinner with the girls. And that's an all girls school. God
bless you too, RJ.
But when you're initiated at Howe's military, I don't think they still have it anymore because they allow girls there now. But I'm wondering if they still do that initiation. You put your dress hat on and come out wearing nothing but your boxer shorts. Socks, optional. I had my socks on. Boxer shorts and nice dress hat. Stood up on the ledge and we did the truffle shuffle and the girls were laughing at us. That was our initiation. And if you don't know what the truffle shuffle is, watch the movie Goonies. And where Mouth has Chunk do the truffle shuffle. He goes, "You got to see the most amazing thing I ever said in my entire life. First, you got to do the truffle shuffle. Come on, do it. Come on, do it." So he stands up on that stump and does it.
That's funny. That is funny. So 10 minutes to go. Goonies is one of my favorite childhood movies since Sandwich Rock.
Yeah, you were a freshman in high school. I was in 8th grade the year that came out. I was in 8th grade. And I know you were a freshman because you're a year ahead of me.
Wow.
Yeah, he ran for governor against Arnold. And when he did, everybody knew who he was, but they couldn't, when they saw him, they couldn't believe it was him because he's not he's a grown man, but he's not that chubby kid anymore.
Go ahead,
And
Trish.
and he's thin. And when he was running for governor and he did his speeches, he had sold his T-shirts and said, do the truffle shuffle for his real name as governor. And he was doing the truffle shuffle for everybody, and they loved it.
Harry says she was 3. I don't know. You must have Googled it. I have no idea when it came out. Oh, 9/11, I was going to a business appointment in the morning. I remember going to a restaurant. It was on the TV. It was a big thing I was doing. 9/11, that's what I was doing.
9/11, I was working for the Kroger company and just got off of work because I was working night shifts at that time. I went over to my girlfriend's house. She's tanning on the front lawn. And I parked my car on the street and was walking up, and I heard a big boom. And I looked over because they lived near the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Ooh.
And the big boom, and I'm standing next to her father, and he grabs a hold of me, and he's looking up. And all of a sudden, you saw the looking glass taken off. What it was, when they left the tarmac, they hit the afterburners. It's about the size of a normal airliner, but it has this.
Wow.
It has this thing that spins around on the plane. It's radar is what it is, a high-powered radar. That was the looking glass. And he grabbed me and he pushed me in the house and he said, I know you know what that was. Do not talk about it. Because he was a master sergeant in the Air Force. He knew exactly what it was too, and he knew I knew what it was. He goes, nobody else knows what that plane is, so do not mention it because I don't want to scare the hell out of everybody. Because when the looking glass takes off, that means we're on DEFCON 2, which is about ready to start. Yeah, it's about where we're going to start pushing buttons and nukes are going to fly.
Does it go down DEFCON 4, 3, 2, 1, or does it the opposite 1, 2, 3, 4?
DEFCON 1, they're launching missiles.
Gotcha. Okay.
But with the looking glass taking off and hitting the afterburners when they left the tarmac with a couple of fighters next to it, wow. Yeah, we were close.
Scary, eh? Scary.
That's why her dad grabbed me and put me in the room and said, I know you know what that was. Do not talk about it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they don't want to panic the public. I understand that.
Yeah, well, no, he didn't want his wife or his daughter that I was dating at the time know about what was going on and scare them.
Yeah,
and they'd start flipping out. And I asked him, I said, Larry, do you think they're actually going to launch? He goes, I don't know, but this is scary shit. I said, because he was telling me, because when I was in, we would do our duty, but it still doesn't alleviate the fact that you're scared shitless. You can still be doing your duty and knowing what's going on and still be scared shitless, but still able to do your duty.
Yeah. Absolutely. So YouTube's coming with no rule. No one should watch short videos. This is happening more every day. No one should just do short videos? Interesting. I do all 3, but my short videos are getting lots and lots of views.
Well, I'm telling you, the media is making a lot of money, especially YouTube and a lot of other platforms, off of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. But that's going to die off within the next couple of weeks. It's going to die off next to nothing, and nobody's going to hardly talk about it anymore. And rightfully so, because the day that happened, everybody was making a big deal about it. And I said, okay, now back to the Jeffrey Epstein files. People are not going to let that go. The Epstein files is going to be right out front and center until they do.
Yeah, and we're getting stuff on it, so that's good.
Yeah, and the only reason to redact something is you're trying to protect somebody. And I don't think that Donald Trump is trying to protect somebody else because he doesn't give a shit. He's protecting himself.
That makes sense.
And I tell everybody who wants proof, I said, you're on YT. Type in the search field Katie Johnson. Boom. There's your evidence. Because she was 13 years old. I don't know the name of the other female that was 15. That was 2 years older than her. Same story. They didn't know each other, but they share the same story about him. That he had a thing for his daughter. And when you look at the two ladies, they both have blonde hair. And when they were young, same age as Ivana, they look just like her. And they all both said the same thing.
Mumsy! Mega love shout out. Oh, Mumsy, you're live. I'm just going to come over and Tamsack, you're live as well. Mumsy live! Let's go over and Tamsack yours.
And everybody says, well, you're kind of cold towards Charlie Kirk and everything like this. I said, look, I have as much sympathy as he would have for me if I died yesterday. How about that? You think he would have any sympathy for me if I died yesterday?
No.
I don't think so. So I have about the same amount of sympathy. A lot of people can't wrap their head around that one.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't mean that I condone what happened to him. No, I don't. But when it comes to the sympathy theater, I have about as much as he would have for me. Sure, we know a lot about this guy, but does he know about us? No. Does he care? No, we don't. He was caring about the millions of dollars he was getting because he was propped up on a platform and really didn't work all that hard. Just had to be intelligent enough to go up there and speak in front of a bunch of people and make an ass of himself.
Awesome, Ruby. Thank you for Mumsy. Thank you, Bo.
So supposedly, the kid said he did it. His father was in law enforcement, and his father turned him in. But they can say and he can admit all he wants. Still, the facts remain. I want a paraffin test, just like a normal good investigator would do. A paraffin test on his face and hands, comparison to the footprint, the palm print, and if they found the weapon that was used.
Thank you, Chevy.
A court of law cannot just go on word of mouth. They still need concrete, tangible evidence to pursue a conviction.
Awesome.
They're still going to need these things, and keeping that information from the public is not a good idea.
Oh shit! Upcoming. Okay. 9, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17.
Because in all crimes with firearms, they're going to naturally do that. Give you a paraffin test to prove that you fired a firearm. It's a residue that ends up on your face and your hands when you fire a firearm. You can't see it, smell it, or taste it. But when you take paraffin and rub it on your hands and your face, it comes up.
7 p.m. That's good.
It's like, okay, you fired a rifle. It's on your side of your cheek and it's on your right hand.
That's right.
But they claimed in the media that they had a print of his shoe and a palm print. Okay, let's see if those match. Now, that's what a good investigator would do. If I was trying to cover something up, I wouldn't talk about it because nobody would bring it up unless they're smart enough to say, hey, wait a minute, what about this other shit you claimed?
That's right.
But like I said, Americans' attention span is about as long as everybody's dick.
Gotta watch out. Oh, it is 2 hours, Sean. We made it.
I've made it entertaining, though. I was on a roll tonight.
Yeah, yeah. We'll have to have just. I have to join one of yours. You can go live. I'll join one of yours. You know, have a chat
Yeah,
on
but
Sunday. That'd be
what it
perfect.
is I get down to the nitty gritty and talk intelligently instead of believe everything I say just because I said it. No, no, I give you where you can go to figure these things out, or I give you concepts that it's called critical thinking, true critical thinking.
That's right.
But I'm not going to sit here and talk to you about lizard people because that is way far fetched, and there's no evidence and proof of that.
Thank you very much, guys. Hey, thanks, Sean. Talk later if you need that. If you need me, just call me.
Now I'm going to get some sleep because I got to wake up in a few hours and deliver this load.
Good. All right. Good night, brother.
All right, good
Good night,
night. Bye, guys.
everybody. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming. Have a good one. God bless.